Hello everyone, my name is Will. I am a music teacher. I teach voice, piano, flute, euphonium, and all kinds of other things. Today we're going to cover a topic that has been plaguing my students lately. The problem that we have been running into is that the ability to play is here and the ability to read is there. So what am I talking about, having an ability to play better than we can read? Well, this is simple. What I'm saying is I have a lot of students and I think that it's kind of across the board. Even in college I've noticed this with a lot of musicians. Their ability to play, sing, perform, whatever is much better than their ability to actually read music. This is a travesty. The reason why it's a travesty is because if you can't read the music, you can't perform it at your best. You're actually hurting yourself by not knowing the actual technique or the actual knowledge to know how to read. So here's a couple things you can do to help your reading abilities right now. Okay. All right. Really simple. First things first, do you actually even know how to read anything? Treble clef and bass clef are the two main clefs that we run into when we're playing music, especially for piano players. Also, vocalists, you're going to run into things like treble clef. You're going to find something strange, especially if you are a tenor. Your part will be written in bass clef, really high on ledger lines, or in treble clef with the words 8VB, meaning everything is down one octave. All right. Lastly, I also teach flute and euphonium. Flutes, you will be finding everything in treble clef. Euphoniums, you guys give a fun time. You can play in treble clef and in bass clef with different fingerings. You need to kind of learn both. So here we go. There are 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 5 lines, 4 spaces. For treble clef, it's real easy. Every good boy does fine. Every good boy does fine. Yep. Then F-A-C-E. F-A-C-E. Okay, we got that. Bass clef. Ready? I'll turn my hand this way so we can kind of see a difference. Garbage bags don't fall apart. One more time. Garbage bags don't fall apart. G-B-D-F-A. Then A-C-E-G. All cows eat grass. Or ACE-G. Depends on how you learn. This is real easy stuff, guys, but this has been plaguing, literally plaguing my students lately. So, first of all, know what it is. I just told you what it was. You heard what I said. Get out a piece of paper, draw 5 lines, write the treble clef, which is the fun little S-looking thing. That's the S-looking thing. And the bass clef is like that upside down C with the 2 dots. Yep. So go ahead, write those down. Put the letters down. Write them. If you write out the bass clef and the treble clef 3 times every time you go to practice in a matter of, give it a month. Let's say you're a slow learner. I don't assume anything. I have a lot of students who are very fast learners, actually. But let's say you're kind of a slower person. Give it a month. Keep writing it out. Keep writing it out. Keep writing it out. You know, in school we teach spelling, right? And for spell words, you write out the words, you write out the words, you write out the words. This is no different. I really stress that music is very much a language. And reading the bass clef, reading the treble clef is like reading a foreign language. It's a whole different set. Even though they're alphabet letters that you know, it's not just alphabet letters. You're actually looking at the placement of where they are on the staff. And each placement on the staff means the sound is different. We're not even going to get into all the different octaves, like middle C is C4, but we'll talk about that some other time if you request it. It's not really a common thing that will help most people. Anyways, moving on. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do, as I said, first thing was know what it is. Second thing was rewrite it 3 times every time you practice. Third thing, there are fantastic resources online that you are probably not using. I really like musictheory.net. Musictheory.net has a bunch of different exercises, if you go to the little exercise tab, that are free for you to use while you are online. The one that I would definitely recommend is note identification. So you'll go musictheory.net, click exercises. The very first one's going to be music note identification. What it does is it spits out a note and it gives you all the options as to what they are. You tap that option. If it's correct, you move on. If not, you try again. You gotta read. You gotta be able to read. So yeah, use your online resources. They also have an app called Tenuto by the same website that does the same thing. You won't have to have an internet connection to use the Tenuto. However, it does cost money to buy the app as opposed to just do things online. I'm a big fan of free, so let's go ahead and do the online. There's also things like Teoria.com. That is, theory in Spanish. Same thing. They have an identification exercise, things like that. That's how you learn. If you're not a digital person, if you're somebody who the computer is really more for fun, and learning from your computer is harder for you, and yes, there are those people. Do not judge. What you want to do is get a sight reading book. Now, this is something that will be more prevalent. I'm going to say the word prevalent, easier to find for an instrumentalist as opposed to a vocalist. And I'm going to tell you why. Most vocalists, when you sight read, you're sight reading using do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. You're not really using like this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You don't really do that. So my recommendation, especially for piano players, there's a fantastic book series called Line a Day, where you have to identify notes every single day and you play one exercise of sight reading every single day until you get it right with absolutely no mistakes. What this does, it helps you recall faster. You'll pull up the note and you'll be able to sight read better. Flute players, euphonium players, everybody else, instrumentalists, grab a piece of music that's in your clef. Read the music. When you're first starting out, a lot of teachers would say, don't do this, but I'm going to say do it because I need you to understand what you're doing. Get a piece of music that you know. So if you're a flute player, maybe, and you're a fan of like Frozen, still popular for some reason, you can get the sheet music of Let It Go online, and you can sight read. You know what I mean? Because you already know what the melody sounds like. So you're connecting that. I hear it. I see it. Now, the reason why most teachers tell you don't do that is because they really want you to play what's on the page. But I'm going to assume if you're watching my video that chances are you probably aren't taking lessons. So you're working on your own as it is. So you need kind of a point of reference here. So that's how I would start for you. Vocalists, here's the deal. I know it's annoying. I would definitely recommend Bach chorales. I know they are instrumental for the most part, but getting a chorale or getting like a hymn book, what else? Hymn book, Bach chorales, just simple vocal exercises written out. You can get those online. Look those over, learn those. You're going to use do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but you're also going to need to use your brain to read the music to know what the symbol is. It's a little bit more complicated, in my opinion, for most vocalists because when you're playing an instrument, you push the buttons and you blow into it, and that's always the note. Vocalists aren't really the same. They don't have buttons to push. We're not like la 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 la. It doesn't work that way. So you're going to have to really kind of work on it a little bit more. It's going to take more of your ear to get it correct, but it is definitely worth it. Why? So what is the benefit and the point of all this? Why am I telling you your reading ability needs to be where your playing ability is? Simple. Do you want to be the best musician you can be? Do you want to be able to play music at a difficulty level that will challenge you and make you feel satisfied? Or are you just happy with playing little ditties that you've known how to play for years? Never challenge yourself and lose interest. That's my point. You're going to lose interest if you don't challenge yourself. You can't really say you're a musician if you can't read. It's like trying to put on a resume that you fluently speak Spanish when all you know how to say is como se dice. Right? Okay, that's great that you know how to ask how to say something, but that's not speaking the language. You can't really say you're a musician if you don't speak the language. The language is the notes. All right, I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I will make sure to type in the www.musictheory.net in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description. I don't know if it'll actually light up or not. I haven't figured out why it does. Sometimes it doesn't. If you're a computer person and you want to give me a little hint as to why that happens, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to show your support, go ahead to Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/WRPARKE R3, that's me, and give me, you know, $1 a month and I'll make a better video. Maybe. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.